Next up, we have Exec Harmonious Fusion with a Y from the Tonelico 2 soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member, all that good stuff. Yes, 2 disclaimers. 1, this is my first time hearing this ever, so I will be pausing a lot, as I will be pointing things out and explaining things as I hear them or as I realize them. And number 2, this is recorded live on stream on a single take. I just stumbled upon my words. I will do it again. So with that being said, let's do this. Let's do this. Exec Harmonious, let's go. Okay, that's silence. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we start with 2 layers of vocals. We start with 2 layers of vocals. Really, really cool, especially considering that they are bouncing back and forth between giving us this initial motif. The motif, of course, being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. And in this case, we are having 2 sets of vocals. One of them is going to give us the motif. Sometimes they're doing what is called a doubling, and then the other one is going to bounce over to make accents. So when it comes to accents in music, accents is not for telling where somebody is from. It's for accentuation. So accentuation is when you highlight specific points in a rhythm. And that is precisely what is happening over here. When it comes to vocal music and choral music, you get this a lot. That you're going to have one line singing the entirety of the text, and then you're going to have another one just singing pieces here and there to highlight specific points in the rhythm. That's what we're getting. This is not the first time we've seen from an Tonelico soundtrack that we have 2 layers of vocals that start with a very simple motif and then it starts developing even further. So let's see where it goes. Okay, and right now what is going on here is called canonic imitation. So canonic imitation comes from the concept of a canon. In music, that's not where you shoot things from. The concept of a canon is a single musical line that is repeated over and over and over again. However, you have more than one line repeating that, which causes a chorale to happen from those. By the way, chorale is chorale, right? As in a chorus. And in this case, a canon, like the easiest canon to remember, to recognize is row, row, row your boat. Whenever every few syllables, every 4 beats, you have somebody else start the canon from the same place, and you end up with a very cool short chorale. Like you can try this with pretty much anyone. Everybody. I think everybody knows the song, right? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. So every time somebody finishes one of the phrases, the next person starts from the beginning while the other one continues. And you just keep doing that, and that is a canon. So the concept of canonic imitation is that you have one or more more lines. In this case, we have 2. One of them is giving us the lead, and the other one is doing the imitation. So we are hearing it, right? Like one of them is doing a couple of beats, giving us the motif, and then the other one immediately copies exactly what is happening. Right now, this would be canonic imitation in the same note, right? So we are getting this. It's just 2 layers, but it's such a beautiful concept. Let's see where it goes. You heard this from me? Interesting. And I like how we're bouncing back and forth between canonic imitation accents and just flat out counterpoint, like on other types of counterpoint, right? Counterpoint is the study of melodies, how they are, how they interact with each other, how they behave, all that kind of stuff. And it's just a very, very, very good combination that we are getting. So let's see where we go, because I like this. It's very, very creative. Let's see where it goes. Now we have a third line. Ooh. This is one of the magical things about vocal music, that just adding a third line can have such a massive impact. I still don't understand how. I still don't get how. Because this... it's something physical with vocal lines. Because I follow many creators, and there's one in particular that she does these like vocal breakdowns, that she starts singing whatever vocal arrangement she makes one layer at a time. And as soon as you hit 3 vocal lines... it just, something about vocals makes it sound just so incredible that it's insane. Tonelico, right now we just took one. We'll be taking them later today. So let's see. Really nice harmonies, very lovely harmonies. Harmonies being, of course, the effect that we're hearing from these different vocal layers. And yeah, we are basically doing a repetition of what we heard the first time around, except we added one more vocal at the top. And that alone is making such a massive difference. This is beautiful. Let's see where it goes. Okay, and now we are having what is called a reduction. A reduction, when rhythmically speaking. So a reduction is when you take a musical concept and you reduce it so that it takes a shorter amount of time. So the melody we just heard from, I think it's an oboe, I think that was an oboe, with the string orchestra playing the chord and the oboe playing the actual melody. It's the same melody that we heard being sang from these vocal lines, except a lot faster. That is reduction. Let's see where it goes. This is beautiful. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to a completely different thing, and this is very, very lovely. So now we are in a completely separate. Wait. Sure to hydrate and stretch. I appreciate it. Check teams. Thank you. All right, so yes, we're having a very different melody now. Very, very different melody, but it's still derived from that initial motif. Very, very similar, except now we're having a bigger ensemble. We introduced the orchestra. Let's just see where it goes. We're still having those 3 layers. And yes, we are having, and the orchestra is going back and forth between accompaniment and doublings. So we are having strings like the violins are every once in a while playing the same thing that some of the vocals are. That is called a doubling, when you have more than one instrument playing the same thing. Then we are having accompaniment. They bounce back and forth between copying the melody or going accompaniment or adding extra counterpoint. Like right now we just heard one of the violins doing an arpeggio. An arpeggio being when you play a chord one note at a time. And it's this very seamless just flow between all versions of all these different types of orchestration that you can have, all the interactions that you can have with the orchestra. It's bouncing back and forth very, very smoothly. And it's creating this, I mean, on top of that, the rhythm, it's a very dance-like rhythm because it's in 6/8. And it's giving us this very, very beautiful environment over here. Like, I don't know, our Tonelico just has insanely good music. This is really good. Let's see where it goes. And we're having... Oh, we introduced a timpani. Oh, we have a timpani. We have timpani. Okay, timpani is my favorite percussion when it comes to the orchestral music. Timpani is my favorite. It's these big boys right now. These are just absolutely insane instruments to play. They are the only drums of this size that are both bass and pitched. Pitched means that they can play actual notes, which makes them pretty difficult to compose with, because to change the note in one of these drums, you have to actually press down on this pedal, and there's no easy way to change it, because what the pedal is going to do is it's going to change the tension on the drum itself, and that is what changes the pitch. I don't know how you can do it smoothly or quickly. So usually you're gonna have like these 4 drums, right? And each of them is set to 1 note. And for the entirety of the piece, you're gonna have 4 notes to play with the timpani, period. And it's just such a powerful instrument. It's a very, very powerful, it's very epic. And right now it's playing very softly in the background, just giving us droplets, but also establishing a little bit of rhythm, a little bit more of a beat. So let's see where it goes. Don't bother requesting songs yet, because we're not taking live requests just yet. Ooh. Okay, so now we are having basically an imitation of everything. We're having a repetition of everything we heard just now with the vocals, but instead we're using the woodwinds. So when it comes to an orchestra, the woodwind section, woodwinds, because we have the woodwinds plus what I think is the bassi. The bassi being cellos plus double basses. And they are like the biggest of the string orchestra. Then when it comes to woodwinds, you have flutes, you have oboes, you have clarinets, you have bassoons. And right now, I think we're having flutes, oboes, and clarinets, which are the higher end of the woodwind section. Basically, each of them taking each of the lines that the vocals had been having. Oh, you thought I said Debussy? No, the bassi. Bassi is what we used to call the cello. I mean, you can still call them that. The cellos and the double basses. They used to be a single section, and they used to just play everything. Just that the double basses sound lower because they are like twice the size as a cello. Nowadays, they can be separate sections. And so, yeah, right now we're having this combination of just the bassy strings, the bassi, giving us a pulse, a little bit of a rhythm, while the flutes, oboes, and clarinets give us the melodies we just heard, but without the lyrics, so now entirely in lyric form. Very beautiful. Let's see where it goes. Oh, look at that. Oh, we had this moment where the vocals come in and we have the woodwinds doubling, but then the flute goes up and does this beautiful trill at the top, giving us extra counterpoint. Trill is when you play 2 notes. Playing 2 notes in quick succession, one after the other. Usually 2 notes that are next to each other. So when it comes to music, right, you have musical scales. And the scales are usually, you pick 7 notes from the chromatic scale, and that's your scale. When it comes to trills, it's one of the few, one of the quantum concepts that exist in music. Because when it comes to music, there are 3 types of relationships that notes can have: consonance, dissonance, and the tritone. Which the tritone is the only unstable set of notes that exists. Everything else is going to be either consonant or dissonant. Consonant sounds nice, sounds agreed, like the notes agree with each other's. Dissonance sounds like they don't. So when it comes to this, let's grab the scale of C major, right? So C D F G A and B. And then back to C. So when it comes to this, if two notes are next to each other, they are going to sound dissonant, most likely. And it's a little bit palindromic, because when you have C and E, which means they're not next to each other, they are going to be consonant. If you have C and F, they're going to be consonant. C and G are going to be consonant. But if we have C and D, that is going to be dissonant. B and C, that is going to be dissonant. So usually it's that. Right. However, when it comes to trills, instead of playing two notes at the same time, you can play them one after the other, the way the flute did just now. And in this case, it could be B and C playing both, one after the other, bouncing back and forth so fast that in theory, it counts like you playing both without the dissonance. It's one of those very strange bits of just stuff that exists in music, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful, man. It's very, very beautiful, and that's what we just heard with the flute, giving us a little bit of extra counterpoint with those trills. Let's see where we go from here. Oh, beautiful. Timpani is back. The woodwinds are once again giving us the violins. Now we're letting the vocals completely go at it. The vocals are a little bit louder. They are a little bit on the lower range now. They're no longer the childish sound. They sound a little bit more mature. And most importantly, the orchestra is taking a full we're just playing chord here. We're just playing a chord. We're letting the ladies here do whatever they want. We're just here to play chords. And this is awesome. Let's see where it goes. And then we have a timpani roll. Very lovely. And now the strings split in two main things. We are having the bassi do one of my favorite things for the strings to do. The bassi are now doing what is called a pizzicato. Pizzicato in music theory means to pluck the string. So if you've ever seen a violin, if you haven't, let me show you. Violins, violas, cellos, double basses, they all have the same overall structure, which means they have this little bridge over here holding the strings, which, as opposed to something like a guitar or a mandolin, a banjo, a bass, anything like that, if you pluck the string or if you strum the string, they're not going to reverberate that much. They are kind of muted in that sense. However, because of that, when you pluck them, they give you this very, almost like a harp-esque sound, like a muted harp sound that is very, very unique to these bowed strings. So why does that sound so Finnish? Because it's Italian. I don't know, but pizzicato is like all of these are usually Latin or Italian, because that's where most of the music had this thing. And the opposite of pizzicato is arco. Arco means bow, so you play with the bow. Otherwise, with pizzicato. Negative, great, welcome today, how you doing? So yes, we're having the bassi playing pizzicato, giving us this like bass plucked rhythm, little bit by little bit. And then we are having the rest of the string orchestra playing in arco, giving us this really cool double-sided set of strings. And on top, we are having the vocals really going at it. Let's see where it goes. There comes the woodwinds as well, giving us more chords. Not yet. Hit 60 hertz, not yet. And we had our... I know I say this a lot, but another one of my favorites is the Glockenspiel. So the Glockenspiel, we just had that play very, very quickly. This instrument looks like a toy, but it's one of the most beautiful. I don't want to see the shop. I want to see the instrument. It's one of the most beautiful sounding instruments. It sounds like, I don't know, like stars and fairies, and it's just such a beautiful sound. And right now, it's like a miniature xylophone. It's like a miniature xylophone, and right now we are having this moment of staccato. Staccato is when you are playing in short bursts. Right now you can hear them. The vocals are going in short bursts. The woodwinds are going in short bursts, giving us a faster pace. They're picking up the pace, even though melodically speaking we are still playing the same speed, but because now it's partially a tutti, not entirely because it's not all of them, but now we're having several giving us these things. Let's see. Mr. Divas, welcome today. How you doing? And we're speeding up, and now we've landed back. Now we're letting the... Ooh, very important here. We let the tuba play a little bit. Ooh, we let the tuba play a little bit. And that you just heard, that drum you just heard, that's the timpani. That is what is called a timpani roll. Because they are such a powerful instrument when it comes to that. So yeah, we're having this, and it's just accelerating. Just this moment that we had just now, of just the strings giving us this. Rhythmically speaking, it's kind of a waltz, even though it doesn't follow the rhythmic section, because for a waltz to be a waltz, you need the rhythm of the waltz. You need the strings, at the very least the bossy, giving you the boom bum bum boom bum bum boom bum bum boom bum bum. In this case we didn't have that, but most importantly, the tuba had a couple of very subtle notes in there. And it is a risk to have a tuba, because it's very difficult to mask or to hide the tuba between other instruments. But they got it right. So this is live cue. Let's see. Got the sim. Okay, we've slowed down a little bit. And we're employing similar... And now we bring in a solo vocalist with a little bit of accompaniment from the other ones. And we are just bouncing back and forth with all this instrumentation. We are taking a lot of the styles that we've been seeing throughout the piece, and we're just letting them play in consecutive order. We are kind of revisiting material, kind of not, because this melody is, a soloist melody, which is not a solo, it's just a single vocalist doing a thing. Let's see where it goes. Yeah, we've absolutely slowed down. So yeah, you can hear the bossy plucking, and now the other violins and everybody is plucking as well. This doesn't sound like a video game soundtrack. It's because you're not used to video game soundtracks being this much. Because we've seen stuff like this from like Expedition 33. Like video game soundtracks are. There's so much more than I was gonna say Roblox, than Geometry Dash out there. Enzo, welcome today. Yes, this is live queue. Let's see where this goes. So yeah, we've slowed down. All the counterpoint. I love this. So now we are having these moments of acceleration. We're building the tension. We're building towards that final cadence. Because once again, when you're making music, you're doing one of two things. You are building tension or you are resolving the tension. Point right in the middle is cadence. And oh my god, we are building it, and we're doing it in a very creative way, because we are having the solo, the vocals taking us off the ramp. So going off the ramp is a colloquial term that I use. Colloquial means that there's no official academic term or anything like that, or at least I'm not using it for the sake of simplicity. And in this case, going off the ramp is a way of transitioning between phrases that makes the listener feel suspended up in the air, kind of like going off a ramp, waiting to see where we land. And how do you do that? You remove the drums. Or in this case, there's no drums. How you do? You remove the bass. And in this case, the bass is only so much. You remove the entire orchestra. And you just let these other vocals from the start, these vocals that happened from the very beginning, giving us, even though even the melody is giving us like this jumping shape. And then we land, and we build up more tension with that, and we do it again, and we build up more tension with that. This is, this is awesome. All right, Max, welcome to the day. How you doing? And now we're there's the counterpoint, and there's the cadence. Silence. Okay. So, the most devastatingly powerful tool that a musician can have is silence. Pluty, welcome to today. How you doing? And in this case, they did... This was so well done. So, the cadence, you heard it. We had all that tension. We were waiting for that moment of breaking through and having that bombastic... Like that, that bombastic note. Flamongo, thank you for the Prime sub. I really appreciate it. Expecting something like that to resolve from this tension. Brilliant timing, by the way. Expecting something like that, but instead, what the composer did is instead of having that tension, that cadence resolve up here with all the bombastic and all the intensity, we brought it back down. Slowly, softly, recapitulating the very beginning to give us this sense of like mirror in this is very beautiful. It's very haunting. Yes, very beautiful, very haunting. Branchola, welcome today. How you doing? OST means original soundtrack. So yeah, let's see. Oof. Welcome to the day, Thomas. Don't bother requesting just yet. Yeah. Yep, this is a pure recapitulation, note by note, what we had. Ooh. Oh, and now we got them tired. Oh, man. Dude. That last note. That takes some skill. Because we've played that final phrase from the start, but very subtle detail. The vocalist ran out of air. Now, getting that tone is pretty difficult. Because this symbolizes that we have exhausted ourselves. Because have you ever tried speaking when you're out of air? Like you keep speaking and eventually your voice starts breaking because you're out of air and you know, that kind of thing. We just had this with singing. With singing, like hear it out, hear it. It's the one in the right ear. That little rumble at the end, that little moment of distortion in the voice, that's what happens when you run out of air. That is the take that was kept, which means this is 100% on purpose. And oh my god, what a beauty. Verns, this is live Q. We're doing bribe Q next. So yeah, and there you go. That was exec harmonious fusion with lyrics from the Tonelico 2 soundtrack. Dude, what a trip these are. That was incredible. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member, all that good stuff. By the way, at the time of recording, thank you so much for 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's absolutely wild. Thank you so much, everybody. This is awesome. I never thought we'd make it this quickly. Thank you. Thank you. At the time of this recording, we just reached 3,000. Really, really cool. So if you want to listen to this track without me interrupting every 5 seconds, I will be linking it down in the description below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, if you are on the live stream, do not request just yet. And if you're not on the live stream, go to the Discord server, link down below, go to the LFA requests channel, and follow the instructions on the pinned messages. And if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you want to know what that is in your local time zone, we have the Discord and the Twitch. They both have the stream schedules in your local time zone. They're both linked down below in the description. And follow the gaming channel. We put I have a gaming channel because of course I do, where I put the VODs of our gaming after shows when they happen or if they happen. Games are Basterd, link down below, or just search for it. It's the same username as James R. Basterd. You swap the J for a G and you got it. And yeah, there you go. Man, this was like I am increasingly just amazed by our Tonelico's really, really, really cool stuff. But yeah, let's move on.